Hey, we are starting with lesson 24 this week in the Face Down series. And this week is all going to be about submission to God in prayer. And we did not technically write this. I kind of took it and rewrote it. We had um, a study on called Jesus Teach Me Your Ways by Desiring God that I kind of adapted and put it in our format so it'd be, kind of follow the same pattern that we've been having. So we're going to go through this today, and I'm really excited about the took portion because I think it'll be something that will be fun and interactive. And so, starting out the lesson this week, what I'd like for you to do is wear a pair of sunglasses or maybe ski goggles, whichever one that you would have on hand. Probably, if you have ski goggles, that would even make a more dramatic statement. So I would encourage you to wear those. But if you don't, a pair of sunglasses will work. It's going to be odd for them, you walking into the classroom with those on anyway, and especially if you just keep them on and start teaching. But I want you to do that. And the first question that you have, you can do this hook one of two different ways. You can ask the questions, or you can pull somebody up out of your classroom and just do a demonstration of something like this. You could tell them, I want you to to speak a different language, that you don't understand anything I'm saying. And so then you can begin to talk to them, and then the more you talk to them, the louder you would get. And you could instruct the one that's playing along with you just to respond in short Spanish phrases or something that you would know, like "Como se dice," or I don't know. I'm not sure if that's right or not. I don't speak Spanish, but my favorite one is "Yo quiero Taco Bell," and mañana, which means tomorrow. I respond to anything in Spanish with mañana just because I like the way it sounds. So anyway, the person on the other side doesn't have to know Spanish or another language at all. You can just instruct them to say various things in other languages that would convey the idea that they don't understand English. And so basically, the longer you talk to them, the louder you're going to get. Okay, so you could do that, and then you could ask, "What is wrong with this picture?" Um, but if you don't want to do that, you can just simply ask them the questions that we have there in the lesson. Have you ever seen a person speaking to a non-English speaking person in English, trying to make that person understand him? What does he typically do? The answer is he gets louder, and like we've all seen this happen probably in person and even on some comedy sketches and stuff, how people will just get louder and louder and louder. Like that's the issue. People are not deaf, they just don't understand. And so the next question is, what is wrong with this? Which I just answered. And so they don't have a volume problem, they have an understanding problem. And so you can use this then to just bridge right over in to the lesson today and talk about how Jesus gave a similar picture of this in Matthew 6-7. And so that's the hook portion. Real easy, kind of can be fun to do. If you don't want to be the one to do that, you could actually get another person in your classroom and have both of them play the two parts there. But it'll be fun, and hopefully it'll be engaging. It'll be a way for them to get involved in the lesson early. So that's basically the hook portion. And if you got any questions on that, give me a holler. Okay, as we move into the book portion, I forgot to tell you there at the end, leave the sunglasses on even after the hook portion, because you're going to reveal why you have those on in just a few minutes. But as we move into just to give a little commentary here, you've got some written in your lesson, but basically the Gentiles or the even some of the Pharisees would give these really long, in-depth prayers that really had no meaning. It was they were doing it more for a show or out of ritual than actually having a relationship kind of prayer that went on there. We went to a conference, the pastors went to a conference last year that was all over the issue of prayer and the topic of prayer. And one phrase that they had um, that really kind of stuck out to me was sometimes people have a tendency of praying prayerless prayers. Basically meaning there was nothing of substance in them. There was no heart connection between what they were saying and their relationship with them and God. And it was more empty and ritualistic. I know some people, and all of us have to be careful about this, but I can remember growing up, um, not to put him down because he was a godly man, but my dad, he would pray the same prayer every time we ate. To this day, he will pray the same prayer every time we eat. Um, I don't know his heart on that. If he prays it from his heart every time, then obviously that's not prayerless. But I know me personally, if I say the same thing over and over and over again, sometimes I can just say it because it's what I've always said. Uh, the other day, I was listening to my son pray a prayer before we ate, and I thought to myself, he's been in church a long time, because you could just tell that he had heard other people pray prayers before meals, and it was very similar. Um, and I know that sometimes people just pray those things because they don't know what else to say. But at the same time, we need to be really, really careful that we make sure we put heart into it every time that we pray. And so Jesus, it says here that Jesus rejects any kind of that, of the empty praying, the prayerless praying, because he wants it to be from your heart whenever you pray. And so then he goes on in Matthew 6:8-13 and tells them how to pray. And it says, "Do not be like them, for our Father knows what you need before you ask him. Pray then like this: Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we have also forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil." See, Jesus isn't giving us a formula there for how to pray. Um, he's just showing us a picture of a surrendered heart to Him. And I talked Wednesday night about the fact that prayer is submission, because it's giving up yourself, and it's making yourself vulnerable before the Lord and before anyone else that hears you, really, because you're acknowledging that I can't do this, but you can. God, I am weak, but you are strong. It is a total rejection of self-sufficiency. And so as we go through this lesson today, it's important to remember those things. And so next we'll move into an activity.